Good morning. My name is Anna Regal, as he said, and I had the pleasure of participating in this year's oratorical competition. The topic we were given to speak on was shared humanity, equal opportunity. I've chosen to interpret this today and talk to you about love. I want you to think about the person sitting next to you, to your right and to your left. Think about the person in front of you, behind you. Think about every single car you're parked next to in the parking lot. Think about every car that you passed on your way here. There was a life and a story behind each of the flickering headlights you passed in an instant. There's a mother, a father, there's brothers and sisters, teachers, mentors, friends, and enemies. Every single one of us here today has a story and has an experience. There are 7 billion people alive today. If you spent just 1 second with every single one of them, it would take you over 277 years. With that many histories, that many families, that many stories, experiences, lives lived, what could we all possibly have in common? This complexity has brewed despondency. When innocent men are killed with no reason, no remorse or repercussion, when children are ripped from families, parents torn from families, people caged like animals, when racism is flown in the name of pride, with every second in this America, our divisions widen. This is the battle and the fight that Dr. King spent his life dedicated to, the fight for the freedom of all Americans and all people. He, like so many people, had every right to be angry. But this is not what we see reflected in his words. Over and over, we hear him say, love. Over and over, he chose love and urged others to do the same. He said things such as, at the center of nonviolence stands the principle of love. Unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. His words exemplify that love is where we truly find our shared humanity. Because when we talk about Dr. King, we do not just say Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We say Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. For he was not just an activist, but he was a Christian. And he knew through years of study and practice as a minister that through God alone we can hope to repair the deep cuts of our past. From Genesis chapter 1, from the very beginning of creation, we hear God say, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." Over and over in Scripture, this repeats. Every single human here today and every single human who is alive and whoever has lived has the ability and the choice to love. This is what separates us from the rest of creation. This is God's great gift to humans. This is the Imago Dei, God's image in us. America, from its inception, has been caught in an everlasting civil war. We are being torn apart from the inside out. Our country was built on the backs of those that weren't even deemed worthy enough to be a part of it. Shots of ignorance and injustice hand in hand with complacency cripple us, and we are bleeding out. Many have turned their backs, content with these barest of victories, but these bullet holes need more than Band-Aids. I implore today, especially my fellow white Americans, to end being complicit. We have undeniable privilege. This is much our fight as it is anyone else's. Thank you. We must be intentional in our education and conscious in the dismantling of ignorance. We must reconcile today for the mistakes of our forefathers. As many are still being denied the prosperity, support, and opportunities that the land of the free has promised us, we are all called to take up the mantle that Dr. King has left for us. I implore each of you here today to stand up and fight. Fight for our humanity. Fight for opportunity, for justice, for freedom, for equality. Fight for Dr. King's legacy. Fight for love.